So today was not a good day. For some reason, I had really bad anxiety today. I don't know why. It's Sunday of Labor Day weekend. We went out to, my nephew had a barbecue, so we went out there. But I didn't stay long. The entire time I felt like I was going to have a panic attack for no good reason. I got so much glare on my glasses. Anyway, I had so much anxiety that I thought I was going to have a panic attack right there. I have a pill that I take when this happens, but of course I didn't bring it with me. I always have them in my pocketbook, but today I didn't have it, and I needed it probably more than I've ever needed it before. Crazy, but so last week I went one day, I forget what, Thursday, for 3 different tests, only one of which was completed successfully. The first one was a breast MRI. And dear God, if you've never had a breast MRI, try to keep it that way, because they put you in an unsustainable, torturous position. It's face down. Your breasts are hanging out into these 2 holes, and there is a metal bar that presses into your solar plexus, preventing you from breathing. The technician seemed to be in a rush, so perhaps that was why they didn't take the proper time to position me, but I don't know. And I said to the technician, I cannot possibly sustain this position for as long as you want me to, which is about half an hour to 45 minutes. I said, I'll be lucky I'll make 5 minutes. It's like doing a plank. It's like you're doing a plank for 45 minutes. And it was just horrendous. Doing a plank when you cannot breathe. My arms are shaking. It was just horrendous. And honest to God, I think if they had taken 5 more seconds to put me into a more comfortable position, I would have been fine. But I had to stop. I was pressing the button, and the guy he was like mad at me for not being able to finish this stupid test. And no one beforehand even hinted that this is one of the most horrendous radiological tests that you could possibly imagine. No one even said that to me. If they had, I would have immediately asked for sedation or something. But it was absolutely horrendous. And then, when he finally came in to stop the test after I was screaming, because he didn't come in when I was pressing the button. I pressed the button like 1,000 times. I was banging it on the side of the thing, and I thought it didn't work. Anyway, it was horrible. That was horrible. So that was my first. Now I'm completely traumatized. I'm completely traumatized by this whole experience. And I have 2 more appointments. The second appointment is with the breast surgeon, who's nice enough, this was not with the breast surgeon, this was the breast plastic surgeon, who after 2 weeks, after the surgery is completed, in 2 weeks, she performs her part of the surgery, which is whatever reconstruction I wind up needing at that point. And the good thing is they do both breasts, so they match. And so this one will be made smaller. My breasts are big, so it wouldn't hurt me at all to have smaller ones. But she takes the the lumpectomy. Hopefully it's not a mastectomy, but lumpectomy, and then she reshapes that breast, and then does the same thing to the other breast. So she said it will definitely, it'll be, minimized. So my whole life I've been buying minimized bras, which, by the way, I just found good ones, and they were relatively a fair price. And I got like 4 or 5 of them right before I was diagnosed. So they're still in the packages, some of them. And my whole life I'm looking for the right bra, and I finally found some. Anyway, then the next, so that went fairly well. That was pretty good. And then the next one was the genetic testing that they wanted to do on me. And now we're exhausted. We were there from 9 o'clock in the morning. I went through that horrendous experience with the MRI, then the breast cancer surgeon, the plastic surgeon, and the next thing is like 3:30, 4 o'clock. We have an appointment for more blood for the gene therapy, the genetics testing. So we get there. We sat there for a long time. They must have been backed up, but anyway, by like 4:45, they finally call us in, and she goes through a whole bunch of questions, and that was a pre-cert also. So it was the gene therapy, taking the blood for the genetics test, and also the pre-surgical stuff all the stuff they have to tell you for the pre-surgery. So she tells me all the stuff about the pre-surgery, and we're getting ready to leave, and then my husband says, well, wait a minute, what about the blood work for the gene testing? And the lady says, oh, we don't do that here. And well, they told us to come here. They said they put an order in for it. She said, well, we don't have any order for it. And then she's scrolling on her screen, and she's looking at, oh, here it is. Wait a minute, I don't know how to do this, or we don't know how to do this, or we don't do this in this part of the department. Let me figure out how to do that. And she disappears for probably another 20 minutes. Now it's rush hour traffic, past 5 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my God, let's get out of here. And we just left because she wasn't able to figure it out. So I told them, I said, look, we're going to take off. You guys figure this out. I'll come back tomorrow. So we driving home. 15 minutes later, they call me. Oh, we found the person to do it, or we found the paperwork, whatever the hell it was. Can you come back? No, we can't come back. We're in the middle of rush hour traffic. I said, I'll come in the morning, and that was that. That was a horrendous, horrendous day. And Friday we didn't do much of anything. Didn't do much yesterday. And today we had the little barbecue. But for some reason, I really am extremely anxious. I guess we're getting closer to the surgery, and I have to reschedule the other MRI. Oh, that's another thing. So I called the nurse and I said, look, I couldn't finish the MRI. What do you want me to do about that? And she said, well, the surgeon said you could skip it. So I said, well, skip it? Why would I skip it? She needs this information. Is there something else you could do? Could you do like maybe a CAT scan instead or something? And she said, no, I guess the surgeon said it was okay, so you don't have to do that. And I said, well, can you tell me why the surgeon said it was okay? Did they get enough from the MRI that I was able to struggle through? Was there some new information about my cancer that you learned, or I don't know? Why did she come to the conclusion that she could do this surgery, which she was doing to find out whether or not I needed both breasts to see if there was any cancer in the other breast, or just to do the lumpectomy, or to see in the other breast if there's, in this left breast, if there was more cancer that they hadn't seen on the sonogram and everything, because the MRI is supposed to be more pick up my type of cancer, which is the invasive lobular cancer, which is difficult to detect, but it's on a mammogram, and difficult to detect on a sonogram, a little bit better on a mammogram, but on an MRI. So all of a sudden she doesn't think it's not that she said it isn't necessary. The nurse said she didn't want to put me through that anymore again. So I said, well, I also don't want to go through several different surgeries if it's possible to detect them now. So she never mentioned it, but somebody else along the way mentioned that I could get this MRI. I guess it must have been the technician who did the horrible one. I could get the MRI with under sedation. So she didn't even suggest that. And I asked her, can I have this MRI under sedation? And she said, yeah, you could do that. Like, why didn't you offer that to me? Why did I have to bring it up? What the hell else don't I know? And by the way, what the heck else can I expect from you guys? What are you going to do to me next? If you didn't warn me about that MRI, what else haven't you warned me about? What am I in for here? What is going to happen in the future? Are you not telling me really horrible things purposely so I don't freak out? Or, I don't know. I don't, they don't explain anything. They don't explain anything. We're going to do this, 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 and this. They don't say how you're going to feel. They don't say anything. They don't explain anything. And the nurse would not let me talk to the doctor. I said, I really want to talk to the doctor. I really want her to tell me why she thinks it would be okay to go ahead with this. So maybe I'm sure she has a good reason, but I don't know what that reason is. And the nurse was only guessing when she said, well, maybe she doesn't want you to be put through that again. But I was not allowed to talk to the doctor. I wrote the doctor a letter. I sent it on the message portal. No response whatsoever. And I think, I deserve an answer. I really want to talk to her. I don't know what to do to get them to let me talk to the doctor. It's ridiculous. I even called the patient advocacy office. I left a message for them because that's what you have to do. That was 5 days ago. And before this MRI fiasco, no one is telling me anything at this Memorial Sloan Kettering. It really is supposed to be such a good hospital. Maybe scientifically it is. Patient care, right out the window. The scientific stuff, maybe the top in the world, but they could use a lot of help understanding what their patients may be going through, because it's just routine for them. Yeah, put your arm up here, put your wrists out, what's your birthday? It's like if they're robotic, you're fighting for your life. It's just, there's a big disconnect there with patient care. I don't know what you'd call maybe it's not patient care, maybe it's patient empathy, patient understanding what the hell they're going through. I don't know what it is. But you'd think they would sit down and say, well, your breast cancer is going to require us to do some surgery. The recovery for the surgery will be like 2 weeks. We'll give you medication to keep you comfortable. And then after that, about 2 weeks, you will get the plastic surgery done. And then your breasts will match. And then we're going to start you on radiation treatments. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm just thinking, why doesn't somebody tell me what's going to happen? What am I in for? Anyway, this is the long, 16 minutes. Well, it's making me feel better anyway, so that's good. Nobody's going to watch it at 16 minutes, but that's okay. Nobody's watching it anyway. Oh, God. All right. Hopefully I will talk to you soon with some good news. I think good news should be coming because the news lately has not been good. Tomorrow's a new month, September 1st. My birthday month. My birthday is the 3rd. So my birthday's coming up. And hopefully my anxiety will be under control by my birthday. Let's hope. Alrighty. Talk to you soon. Bye.